Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's that guy Ken, back with another video. So today I want to talk about putting yourself first, right? And not just putting yourself first, always putting yourself first, right? Now, to me, this is very interesting because a lot of people tend to, prioritize things in their lives, obviously, in many different ways that isn't actually focused on them and improving themselves and making sure that their situation is actually a little bit better, right? And to me, I think one of the best ways that you can actually kind of move forward and sort of, have a better quality of life is by improving yourself, right? And that's just across the board. I mean, like when it comes to, your physicality, when it comes to your social skills, when it comes to your intelligence, whatever it is that when it comes to like being able to deal with situations emotionally. These are things that I think are very important when it comes to trying to improve the quality of your life, essentially, like overall, right? And things will always get in the way. I mean, there's always going to be a situation, right, where there's going to be an obstacle. Something's going to get in your way. Something's going to deter you. Something's going to slow you down. And in some ways, some things might like stop you dead in your tracks, right? Where you kind of have to, maneuver around or figure out how you're going to approach a situation or whatever, or maybe even start putting other things on your life on the back burner. You know what I mean? But one thing that I have learned myself, right, is that it's incredibly important, right, to always put yourself first. Always. I mean, if you don't do it, nobody else will. I'm telling you, like, it is something that you have to focus on, right? You always have to make sure that you're always doing better, right? And you hear this all the time, right? You always hear people say like, oh yeah, tomorrow you should know something more than what you knew yesterday, or you should be, this percentage smarter and whatever, right? Like, we've all heard it before. But it's true. It is so true. That you sort of, prioritize making sure that you improve yourself. And I always believe, man, that there is something about yourself that should be better than what you were the day before, or the week before, or the month before. Setting goals and milestones and stuff like that to try to hit whatever goal that it is that you're trying to hit, right, for yourself, right? And even some of the things that you're doing in your life. It's the best way to do it. You always have to prioritize yourself, man, because if you don't, right, then you start to realize how many things in your life start to kind of fall apart, and things don't want to work out. Magically, just things are not working out in your life and stuff like that, right? And it's because you're deterring all of your energy towards other things other than yourself. And sometimes that, to kind of deter your energy is not necessarily a bad thing, but to completely neglect yourself is just not, that's not something that I think people should do. I think people should always be focusing on whether or not they're getting better, they're improving, especially for guys. Like as a man nowadays, it is something that is incredibly important. You have to be getting better, right? Especially even when you start talking about things like dating, things like dealing with women and stuff like that, just in general, maybe not even just dating, right? Dealing with them, friends and all that type of stuff. Like, you kind of have to know how to deal with people, and you always have to be improving yourself to be able to, like I said, effectively deal with situations like this, So I think nowadays more than ever, especially for men, it's important for people to always be improving themselves. Always. I don't think that there's a time period where you should not be improving yourself. You should not be learning. You shouldn't be, getting stronger in the gym and, and faster and better endurance and stuff like that. You shouldn't be reading books. Like, there should never be a time where you're not doing these things, because if you're not doing these things, then you're making lateral movements. You're not progressing forward. You know, things like your finances, your money, getting yourself into a better position for those things, acquiring a new skill, right? These are all things that we've heard before, but you know, it's interesting, right? Because this is something that I've noticed as well, right? Some of the most powerful lessons that people have in general are usually the ones that you hear a lot, you know, because a lot of people seem to think that, well, you know, if you want to improve the quality of your life, if you want to get this job, if you want to get more money, if you want to do this, you want to lose weight, you want to, whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you're trying to improve yourself with, you want to be more social, you want to get a girlfriend, you want to start like learning how to talk to women better and all that stuff, and get your dating life on track and all that kind of stuff, right? And it's like, well, people always think, right, that there's some magical pill, right? Like, yeah, you know, what is it that you're doing? What's the little trick that you're doing that's making you successful in this way? And it's like, a lot of times it's not even that. That's not it at all. As a matter of fact, it's the very simple things that people hear all of the time, that people seem to always neglect. You know, well, if you want to lose weight, well, stop eating sugar. You know, stop eating so much. Work out. Go to the gym, right? You want to get better with scheduling and stuff like that? Well, manage your time. Write a schedule down. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? You want to get better at talking with girls and stuff like that? Well, go actually talk to them. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? Well, what's the magic pill to lose weight? No, it's no magic pill. It's literally the things that you hear all of the time that you roll your eyes when people give you advice for it. You know, time management, being more social, right? Going to the gym, being dedicated, being motivated, being driven, right? Things like this. Those are the things that people roll their eyes at because it's like a non-factor to them because they've heard it so much. Oh, well, I've heard it before, you know, but you're not really internalizing it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are not really internalizing these you know, these qualities, so you never really see the progress that you want. But yeah, I mean, and I think, like I said, there's always supposed to be a moment in your life where you're improving yourself, right? And it's not hard, really. You know, I'm not saying it's simple, right? I'm not saying it's easy, but it's not complicated. Let's put it like that. It's not a complicated thing, right? And there's no reason why you should be complicating it. Manage your time. Start doing all of these different things. Get out in the gym. Start trying to do things to improve yourself, because if not, you're just gonna fall behind. You know, you're always gonna be behind. There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna work harder than you. They're gonna stay up later than you. They're gonna be in the gym longer than you. They're gonna be in the gym on the holidays. They're gonna be in the gym on the weekends. They're gonna be there every freaking day. People who read books every week, right? The dudes who go up and talk to all the chicks, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't care, like, you know, like the people who stay late at work, right, and make extra money and stuff like that, like, those are the people who are always going to be ahead, you know, because they're driven and they're always improving themselves and they're always trying to make themselves better and smarter and all of these other qualities or whatever, right? So I think you, as well as me, anybody else, these are the same things that we should be doing as well. You should never not be doing these things. Like I said, otherwise, competition's just gonna run you over, man. Competition is fierce nowadays. So you just have to stick with it. You gotta be driven, gotta have that tenacity, and you have to keep going, man. You gotta keep rocking with it and doing the best you can to be the best version that you can. Be the best version of yourself that you can. So that way, quality of life will be much better. But that's all I wanted to say today, guys. I'm gonna be making another video soon. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be making a bunch of videos, and I'm going to do a kind of like long form content like this, start chopping it up and putting it on my other socials and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, I don't really have anything else to say on this particular topic, from this perspective anyway. And just make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.